Okay, we're back with the second part of the demonstration. And true confessions, I went ahead and added blue watercolor to the skirt between these two takes. I just couldn't bear to see her walking around with this unpainted skirt on. I'm going to do a little bit of inking here, and this may reveal why I used this approach of doing pencils first, then watercolors, and then ink. My idea being that if you do the inking first, you will be inclined to add a whole lot of lines, whereas if you've done the watercolor first, you may just let the watercolor do the job sometimes and go a little lighter with the lines. And that way the two of them are kind of working together, rather than the watercolor just being this afterthought that comes in at the end of the day. In any case, I should just say that I'm using a Micron, whoops, get that in the middle of frame, a Pigma Micron 08 is the my little pen of choice. It's waterproof. People who are familiar with the pen may be surprised that I use such a thick one, and it is a bit on the thick side. But my feeling is that if you get a thick pen, you can push down really hard and get that thick line. If you let up, like I'm doing right now on the hair, it gets thinner. Whereas if you are using a really thin pen, thin is all you get. You know, no matter how hard you push down, you're not going to get a thick line. In fact, one of the problems with these pens is if you push down too hard, you'll get this little miniature explosion of ink. It happens every once in a while, and that doesn't look too good. So the hair in particular is a place where, having done the watercolor first, I can just use these lines to kind of touch things up a little bit, and sort of leave it at that. And I'm going to come in later and do more with colored pencil. We'll see if I have time to do it in this one demonstration here. But in any case, I'm doing the eyes. This illustration is so small, I think you can see by the size of my fingers in the frame of the video, that I'm not going to get into too much detail here on the face, just because it's so tiny that I just can't manage it. If I were doing a bigger illustration of her, of course, I'd be doing much more inking. I'm going to go ahead and just sort of fill these in. One of the secrets to doing line work of any kind, whether it's inking or penciling, is getting a sense of when to move your hand quickly. You know, certain lines can only be made when the pen or the pencil is moving at a quick speed. If every time you draw a line you're like really, bearing down on the pen and moving super slowly, you end up with these lines that have no life to them. You can see that I tend to sort of touch the pen down where I know it needs to be, and then kind of flick as fast as I can to get this liveliness of line, which again my teacher David Small back in college was always encouraging me to get a loose kind of line whenever possible. In any case, I think I can set aside the pen now and go and do a bit of my colored pencil thing that I talked about. I'm pulling out, this is just a Sanford Prismacolor, I guess is the real thing to use. And I'm going into the hair now and using colored pencil. This is my technique. I'm not saying that everybody has to do this, but I find that the three different tools, the watercolor, the ink, and the colored pencil, working together, all of them kind of supply their own thing, and give me the effects that I want. You know, in a way it speaks to my limitations as an illustrator. I can't achieve all the effects that I want with a single medium. I have to kind of mix and match and pull them all together. In fact, sometimes to get a nice white highlight on things, I bring out white gouache, which is, you know, technically different from watercolor. So that's even a fourth thing that I'll pull in there. And on occasion, I'll even pull out pastels, like dry pastels, to get a shadowy effect, and that would be a fifth. So I really, you know, I give mixed media a new definition, because I'm truly mixing all. Now I've switched to a red pencil here to give her that little blush to the cheek, little appley cheeks. I find that just a flat tone of flesh tone is not enough to define the face, so I always go in with red like this, and then I'll also probably go in a little bit with a brownish color. I think I'll just go right back to that same brown that I was using for the hair, just because I've got it handy. And that can also help define the flesh tones a little bit. Now I'm going to go and do a bit more of the blue. This blue is so dark to begin with, I probably don't need to do too very much with that. And the lower parts of the skirt here are not really even showing up in frame, so I'm not going to bother too much with that. But I was talking about the shadows not being just black. A pale gray is the next best thing, but I always like to give it this light blue, and I'm actually going to pull out the purple I talked about, how the Impressionists used to put purple into shadows. I do that a lot. I love to add, and so I've pulled out this purple pencil to add yet another shade of color to those shadows. And I think now it's time for me to add a touch more to this ribbon here, to kind of define that a little bit with a bright pink pencil. And you know, this illustration is far from finished, but you get an idea of where I'm going with it. I'm going to try, let's see, hopefully this will work out. I'm going to add a little white. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, this seems to be working. The highlight of the hair. Sometimes I do this, like I said, with a white gouache, which is a very thick, you know, opaque paint. Just to save time, I'm trying to do it here with a white pencil. I'm even going to do a little highlight on her clothes. And hopefully this is showing up. It just sort of makes things pop a little. You just see this, the light. You get a sense of the three dimensions as the light hits it. And sometimes I'll even do a little reflected light over here. That kind of detail is maybe not going to show up on this video, so I won't get too crazy with that. But get the highlights in the eyes, and maybe that's enough for today's demonstration. That kind of shows you where I go for creating an illustration, taking it from the beginning, really, with the pencils, going to watercolors, and finally to the inks. And I can't resist one last little plug for our girl Miki. Yeah, in stores in just 11 more days as I finish up this video. And a little shout out to all my subscribers over there at YouTube. You people are awesome. Thanks so much. And I hope to have more of you as we go along. I'll be back with more videos real soon. Thanks for watching.